presents Around the Table with Coach D and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? It's the B.O.B., and I am here with the Big D. Coach Dodge, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing great. This is Around the Table with Coach D and the Fat Man. That is Coach D. I'm the Fat Man. This is the podcast that we talk about whatever we want. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so I figured we could touch base a little bit on that, Coach. I guess we could talk about, is there a veteran athlete that, I don't know, has stuck out to you in the history, or is there a veteran that you feel like deserves continued praise after their years of service and whatever service that was?
You know, there is. I am a little bit of a Pirates fan, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and go with Roberto Clemente. I think we all already know he was a really good person. He did a lot of charity work, and of course, we know about his tragic death when he was taking aid and supplies to Nicaragua. But I don't know how many people know that he was a private first class in the Marine Corps Reserves, and he did serve active duty for 6 months. And I just think, for somebody who is such a good person that was also willing to serve for our country and in the little off time he had from baseball, I think he just really deserves to be recognized. And he is my veteran of the day.
Veteran of the day. All right. Yeah, I mean, he definitely, he's one of the, I'm a bit of a Pirates fan too, just a little bit. Um, I, one of the greatest, one of the greatest Pirates of all time. 15-time All-Star, and he was a great player, but he was just as great, if not an even greater person. Always trying to give back. But yeah, that was, I'm sure that was one of the most tragic days. Obviously, it's way before our time, but his death was definitely
Yeah.
one of the most tragic days in probably in sports history. I think the impact it probably had back then. I was going to try and compare it to Kobe, but I mean, we weren't there, so we don't really know. But I feel like just where he was in the sport of baseball, I mean, it was kind of like losing Kobe a few years ago. It wasn't
I
it
think
wasn't a
so.
great feeling for the sports world at all.
I think it was really tragic for Pirates fans and just baseball fans around the world. I mean, because you're right, I didn't mention he was a great baseball player too, so he was just well rounded.
Yeah, it did a little bit of everything. For me, I was I love football. I was young when this happened. I still remember it though, and it's still the tragic events are still being relived by the family as they continue to try and get the get the answers to what happened. But for me, I'm gonna have to go with Pat Tillman. He gave up at the time. I think it was over a $3 million contract with the Cardinals to play to an extension in the NFL, and he turned it down. 9/11 happened. He wanted to serve his country. He went and served. I believe he served with his brother. And as a lot of sports fans know, if they know about Pat Tillman, they know that he was at the time what was believed to have been killed by um, some enemy forces. It was learned and covered up that he was actually killed by friendly fire. Um,
Mhm.
some people have differing opinions on why they were shot at or why he was shot at. They had some um, locals who were a part of their group, and some people think that maybe they had mistaken them as terrorists or whatever. But I mean, the only people I know are the people that did it, and I know that there had been some new information that came to light recently. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember what those things were, but um, I think they had maybe they got some more information regarding it. But regardless, I mean, this is a guy who, in I wouldn't say he wasn't really in the prime of his career yet. He was only, I believe, 3 years into his career. It was the contract he was signing was the first one off his rookie deal, and but he gave up a career in football to um, he gave up a career in football to go to war, to fight for his country, and unfortunately, he served the ultimate price. And hopefully that family gets the answers. But hopefully nobody ever forgets that uh, sports isn't everything, and he did what he felt was right at the time. So for me, Pat Tillman, just don't forget the name.
Yeah, that is an incredibly selfless thing to do, to give up such an amazing career in football to serve your country. That's huge, and that is super unfortunate to hear about those. I'll have to go look into the new information that came out about him and see what's out there. But
Yeah,
that was a great one. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, and I mean, obviously, he's not the only athlete that's ever done that, ever given up his career to go fight for the military, and things like that. But obviously, it's one of the more recent ones, especially the one that sticks out to me the most. Obviously, we used to have back in the day, whenever Army, Navy, and all those Air Force. I guess if you can call them a military school. Just kidding, Air Force people. Uh, if back in the day, whenever they were the prime college football, the SimWorld Youth football teams. I mean, they were elite athletes. They were the military guys. They were going to war, taking their time away from the sport, going to war, coming back, playing. But again, Pat Tillman, that's the one that sticks out for me the most. But yeah, so Roberto Clemente, Pat Tillman. I don't know. If you go to the Mount Rushmore of athletes who served in the military and what they did for their country or for other people, I feel like they're probably going to be on the Mount Rushmore for that, for
Mhm.
what they contributed back. Well, Coach Dodge, I don't know. I guess last thing, if do you have any final words for the people?
Just thank you so much for anybody who served for our country, anybody who's active duty or a veteran. We appreciate your service. You guys are incredible. We wouldn't be the nation we are without you.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Dodge, I appreciate you as always, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their week.
Bye.